Whether you're hosting a small Christmas gathering or a big New Year's bash, there's much more to think about than just the appetizers and desserts. You'll also want to make sure that you're aware of the legal responsibilities that come along with holiday entertaining. With more on this, we're joined by Stacey Stevens, a personal injury lawyer and partner with the law firm Thompson Rogers. Thank you for coming in this morning. It's a very timely issue because a lot of these holiday parties involve alcohol, and people who host in their homes sometimes don't realize that they may indeed be responsible for people who leave their homes intoxicated. Tell us what the law says.
The law in this area is more developed when you're talking about a bar, a commercial host.
Sure.
When you're talking about someone who has a party in their home, that's called a social host responsibility. And at this point, there's a very narrow exception to whether or not the homeowner is going to be held liable. There was a recent case that went to the Supreme Court of Canada a few years ago that said, generally speaking, it's not fair to impose a responsibility on a bystander, so to speak, for the negligent actions of a third party.
Okay.
So if you have a party and someone comes to your house and they leave and they have a car accident or they hurt someone in another way, there's no guarantee that that person's going to be held liable. What the court's going to look at is what are your actions.
Yes.
What did you do to cause or contribute to that situation?
Did you overserve, for example?
Did you overserve?
Okay.
Right.
Did you allow them to leave knowing they were intoxicated?
Exactly.
So it comes down to an individual case basis?
It does pretty much come down to an individual case-by-case basis. So if you're just hosting the party and people bring their own alcohol and they leave, chances are, which is similar to the case in the Supreme Court of Canada, there won't be, it'll be difficult to find liability on the homeowner.
Okay.
But if you
provide the alcohol.
If you provide the alcohol and there's no one supervising it, there's no co-homeowner who's sober and sort of keeping an eye on what's going on, and it's just an open bar and a great party, and someone leaves, then the court could look at you differently, and there could be a possibility to find liability on you.
And what does that liability entail? A fine, a charge, what?
Well, what ends up happening?
Suing, depending on what happens to the person who left.
Yeah, if the person who leaves gets in a car accident and injures someone else, then you would be sued.
Okay.
You would be named as a defendant in a lawsuit.
Right.
In most cases, your homeowner's policy would respond for you, so it's not something that...
But still, nobody wants to.
But nobody wants to.
Or be liable for what horrible event may occur because of that.
No, exactly.
So give us some tips on what people who do want to host parties and serve alcohol need to do this time of year.
Well, there should be a sober adult. You should probably have someone who's not as intoxicated as everybody else. You may want to have someone who's monitoring the bar. So if you are serving alcohol, make sure that you've got someone who's monitoring it. Offer rides home. If people are going to need them, maybe you need to have a designated driver. You know, offer places for people to stay.
Call them a cab.
Call them a cab, exactly. But the main thing you need to do is just keep an eye out. Keep an eye out as to what's going on, what people in their home are, how much alcohol they're drinking.
What about if someone injures themselves walking up your sidewalk, coming to your party on ice?
That's a little different.
Yeah.
A homeowner or an occupier of a home has a duty under the law to make sure that their premises are safe. Okay. So if you've got stairs that haven't been salted or sanded and someone's coming in and they slip and fall and they injure themselves, then they have they have a right to sue you if they so choose, because that's the duty that you owe them coming onto your property. Okay. So similarly, if you're having a party and if there's, let's say, part of your house that's under renovation, or the pool cover's been left off,
you're liable.
There could be more reasons for you to be liable in that situation, as opposed to a situation where the person leaves the house and injures somebody on the road.
Some great information for this time of year. Really appreciate you coming in. All right. Stacey Stevens is a lawyer with Thompson Rogers. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you.